Welcome Transformer fans, my name is Composite Enerjoe and today's review is on the Transformers Studio Series Deluxe Class Soundwave. More specifically, this is the Soundwave that appears in Revenge of the Fallen, and here he is in his satellite alt mode. And that's, yeah, this is his satellite alt mode, his more specifically his Cybertronian satellite mode. And it looks very nice. It's not really that screen accurate, but we didn't see too much of that figure. Too much of Soundwave in the second movie. But for what it's worth, this is a very nice looking, I guess, satellite. If that makes any sense. Got the nice panels, the pieces. Very nice. I will say that this mode that you see in front of you isn't exactly the mode that is seen in the instructions or in the film. Actually, let me pop off his head. And this is a little more accurate. Yeah, for some reason, there is a gap here. And the hinge, where you can just store away his head to have it be a more, I guess, in disguised, if that makes any sense. And I like that. However, the instructions don't mention this. But I think it's a really cool option to have, so that you can be able to like put back the head and have this just sit there as like an anomalous satellite, which is nice. Oh, he also comes with this stand, which is very cool. This might be one of my favorite accessories that come with a Studio Series figure. Is this little stand, which you can use for his robot mode because it uses the same plug, so you can use it, which is nice. So yeah, there's a little hinge on the stand, and you can rotate. And then, funny enough, the stand itself can rotate. Don't know why, but it can. And that's pretty much it. There are these little hinges here, but it's not meant to move while in satellite mode. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I think for what it is, it's really neat. It's not like it's not really that accurate. I think this is actually one of the most, how do I say this? From what I can gather, this is probably one of the least accurate Studio Series figures. But I think it looks nice. This is a very cool looking satellite mode. I really dig it. So now onto the transformation. So I'm going to take off this little stand thing and put it off to the side. So here we have him. And as you can see in the instructions, this is supposed to be his alt mode with his head revealed. And this is how he appears in the film, more or less, with the head. But again, you do have the option of storing it away and having it be more in disguise, which I like. I like the option. So let's just get the head reveal out of the way. Let's get on to transforming. And Soundwave here is by far, as of right now, the simplest Studio Series figure I have encountered. And I think, and when I looked into it, he is apparently the easiest one. Officially, it's supposed to be 10 steps. I add a little more because I adjusted a little. But yeah, he's the easiest one. First things first, you just unpeg the legs. Fold up. So fold, fold, straighten out. Then from here you unpeg, rotate, peg into place. Oh no, fold this hinge back. Then make sure that pegs into place. Then this part is a little weird. You push this forward, and then there's like these little hinges here that you rotate and you peg there. So as you can see, there's like little notches here that you follow. This is for the alt mode, this is for satellite, and this is for robot, where you peg in there. Make sure this front is pegged. And then you flip up shoulder spikes. And then for this little thing is that rotate this forward, you lift up, rotate it forward, have it be front facing, make sure it doesn't pop off, popped off for me. And then straighten out the arms, fold these pieces in, and what popped off? Oh, this popped off. Make sure you plug this in. Like, be careful with these little pieces, they tend to pop off, at least on mine they do. Hold on. And they don't pop up this much though. There we go. Back. And with that, this is his official robot mode. However, this little piece I like to fold up, because like this is how he has it in his vehicle mode, and it kind of like limits his like legs a little bit. So I like lifting it up. So yeah, this is my version of his robot mode with the little back skirt with the skirt pointing up. So yeah, and that's it. As you can see, I added a couple more steps, but this is his robot mode. And I gotta say, this looks very, very cool. I'm actually really digging this. In the film, you don't see an official robot mode, and the prior toys of this had to like make up a robot mode for him. But I think this version might be my favorite. Granted, there's not that much to really work with. I think the only other version is like the one from the original Revenge of the Fallen line. And to me, I always found that one to be okay. I actually really like the profile on this one. It just has a very nice presence. The transformation is very simple, which was very surprising, because I've always figured this guy would be a lot more complicated, but he ended up being the simplest. But yeah, so let's get a close-up at this head sculpt. Very, very nice looking head sculpt. It's very different from his Dark of the Moon head, which I thought they would reuse the same head, but no, it's a new head. Really like it. Nice head. He's got like 3 or 4 painted red eyes. Well, he's got a bunch of red eyes, now that I look at it. And as you can see, his head is on a ball joint, and it has that hinge where you can just hide it away. So he can do that. Alright. For rest of articulation, the shoulder can rotate in out, bend at the elbow, swivel there. There is technically wrist, but it's locked in place for this. And you can also use this as like a hidden blade function, which I like. I like that you can use this as a... Again, if you have a little imagination, you can pretend that this is one of his swords. So you can pull out twin swords a la movie Sideswipe, which is very, very cool. Legs can go in, forward, back, swivel there, bend at the knee, and an ankle. Very nice ankle, which is meant for transformation. And that's it. He technically does have a slight waist, but because of the way this is designed, it's locked into place, but he does swivel a little bit at the waist. And then these are like on like ball joints and like a hinge, so you can mess them around if you want. And that's about it. Again, I think this guy, if I can like describe this guy, is that he is simple yet fun. I think he looks really cool. He feels nice and solid. Like he's a very sturdy figure. I like that. And I feel that he has a lot of play features, which is very nice. And yeah, I just really, really dig the figure. I really dig this. I personally like this version of Soundwave more than I do his Dark of the Moon one. Like, I wasn't a huge fan of them making him into a car. I felt that always feels very weird for me, having Soundwave be a car. So I was always a much bigger fan of Revenge of the Fallen's portrayal of having him be a satellite. I thought that was brilliant. I felt that makes more sense. That makes more sense than a car or even a boombox, even though I'm a huge fan of the boombox Soundwave. It's one of like I think the few G1 forms I actually still really like is Soundwave on his boombox. Yeah, I will say that it is kind of sad he doesn't come with like a little one of his little he doesn't come with a Ravage, which kind of stinks because this is the version that shoots out a Ravage. It would have been nice if he had, because the Dark of the Moon one has the little laser beak. So yeah, bit of a shame he doesn't come with a Ravage. I think that's my one complaint with the figure. He should have come with a little Ravage. And now on to size comparisons. Here we have Ratchet and Cliff Jumper. And yeah, overall, this is a nice solid little figure. I feel that this is like one of the few Studio Series figures you can actually hand off to a little kid and it wouldn't be a problem. He's a very, very, very nice and solid figure. That's the best way I can describe him. Oh, and like all Studio Series figures, he does come with a backdrop. And as you can see, it's space. Oh, and like I said, you can, since he uses the same port, you can plug this. And have him like floating. Or like a jumping or like a dynamic pose or something. So yeah, it's like he's floating in space. And obviously the space background is because in Revenge of the Fallen, you only see him in his satellite form in space. So that makes sense. So yeah, overall, it's a nice solid figure. I have very few complaints. The only real complaint I have is that he doesn't come with a little Ravage, because I like the stand accessory. I would like more figures that come with his little stand accessory. And even the backdrop of space is cool because it's, as far as I know, it's unique. I don't think any other character has a space backdrop. So yeah, that's it. Overall, nice, solid figure. Highly recommend it. Yeah, so this has been my review of the Transformers Studio Series Deluxe Class Soundwave, Revenge of the Fallen Cybertronian Satellite Soundwave. This is Composite Enerjoe signing out. Peace out and be safe.